I remember sitting in my friend's basement and there was a guitar sitting there and I just started pretending like I knew what I was doing and everybody was like, whoa, you know what you're doing.
Minneapolis had really had, I think, a huge grip on music just for the pure fact that there were just so many talented people living here.
Everything that everyone says about the Twin Cities and all the different musical styles going on out of here is true. It's hugely diverse and there's no way you can really call it one thing. And the other thing is, the only thing to do here in the winter is practice and write songs and drink beer.
As far as a groundswell and thinking, well, this is the next big thing, hearing indie rock in the early 80s, I don't think you thought that. You just thought it was like a bunch of free thinkers in flannel shirts riding around in sweaty vans for weeks on end. I don't know what Husker Du sounded like. They just sounded really, really fast. But there was that kind of buccaneer mentality. They figured out how to distribute records, they figured out how to book bands, they figured out how to tour, and everyone followed in their path.
I think we intimidated some people, and in that, I think we found our mania for excess.
I think Husker Du really were the first band that became road dogs, and they are very significant for that reason alone. I think that the Replacements were inspired by that. They wanted to get out of town. They didn't want to just be local heroes, so they started hitting the road as well. So we had 7 people in a van with all the gear, and we did 3 or 4 runs that way, coast to coast. We're playing at Irving Plaza. They walked on stage that night just smoking. And I remember the band's attorney leaned over to me and said, that was Seymour Stein from Sire Records, and he just said he's going to have the band signed before they even get home from this tour.
I remember calling Paul Westerberg up when they got signed, and I said, congratulations, man. And he goes, yeah, I just hope they don't make us wear monkey suits.
Well, we weren't supposed to sound like that. We used to have guys at the record company yelling at us to, like, clean up the music and don't be so rude and don't do this. And now it's like, you know, what, can you turn up the guitars and can you, you know, cuss someone out?
I want somebody to shove. I need somebody to shove.
Our music community here has always been very conscious that we had a scene here that we liked. It's like whenever anybody discovers your favorite thing, it's suddenly not quite as cool. So when a band that you really like becomes a part of the national consciousness or gets out to a wider audience, there you have a little bit of that sense of loss.